Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. This is HD StarCraft, and I'm here to bring you guys another Heart of the Swarm broadcast. Down in the bottom right-hand corner today, I'll be bringing you guys a game with the red Protoss player, and his name is none other than Elfi. Very, very popular Protoss player, excuse me. And the map is going to be Akelon Waste. His opponent is going to be Liquid's the Little One. So another Zerg versus Protoss for TLO here. And this time against another great friend of his. Of course, the last one I did of him, the last CVP I did of him, I think was him and Whitera or Baby Knight. So he's been doing a lot of Zerg versus Protosses lately. And this should be great. Hi, good luck, have fun, says the Little One. Akelon Waste is a great map. This is probably my favorite map of all in all of the Heart of the Storm maps combined. I actually have a bit of an affinity for these desert-based maps. I'm not too sure why. I love Desert Oasis. I know it was taken out of the map rotation for all serious tournaments like in the very first month, but I love Desert Oasis. It was a really fun map to play on in the beta, and I also like Blistering Sands. I don't know why. But do you guys remember the original maps in Wings of Liberty in the beta and the early stages of the game? All the maps were really, really small. For example, Steps of War, Blistering Sands. God, I can't even remember some of these maps anymore. But Zelnaka Caverns was pretty small as well. And you know, those games back in the days were just completely bonkers. Nowadays, of course, most maps are very large. You see a lot more of a late game that's well defined. But I think a lot of players and a lot of viewers can agree that when the maps started getting bigger, we started to lose a little bit of that early aggression that made the game so fun to watch. And what I love about Heart of the Swarm is I think Blizzard has done it. They've kind of brought it back here. And you do see like early Reapers. I still haven't seen a game with a Zerg player using early Burrow yet, because the Burrow is available at Hatchery now. And of course, the Protoss can use a Mothership Core. They always could in the beginning of the expansion. But yeah, really, really fun to watch. And one thing that I actually still want to see is a Protoss versus Terran game where a Terran starts to use Widow Mines against Protoss. And the Widow Mines, of course, because they are so good against the Protosses and their shields. They do an extra amount of damage to shields. So actually, I'm going to make a bit of a bit of a call out right now, if you will. If you guys have or know anybody or know any links to any really good replays for a Terran versus Protoss in Heart of the Storm where you do see some of those Widow Mines being used, feel free to have those sent in to me, HDreplays@gmail.com. And of course, I'm always making these shoutouts just because I want to get the word out there. I want to try to cast the best games possible. And you know, I am in the habit right now of only casting the best games, you know, with the best players or with the most interesting, you know, conclusions or interesting plot twists, if you will. So try to keep things as fun as possible for you guys, the viewers. And hey, look at this! We have a Mothership Core on the way. No surprise there from Elfi. And let's see what he decides to do with this. Will he be early and aggressive with it? Usually when a Protoss gets a Mothership Core this early on without an expansion. In fact, this is very strange. Elfi has not grabbed a natural yet. That is really interesting. Pretty delayed natural here. Now, I guess he's going to go for... it's kind of like the Naniwa style expand where you go for the Gateway and the Cyber Core and you expand. But when you do this, you also want to get a Mothership Core in Heart of the Storm because... you know, why not? If you're going to be on one base and you're going to get the Cybernetics Core and you're going to have the gas, you might as well get the Mothership Core as well. Now, what this affords a Protoss player, exactly what I was talking about before, is the ability to be aggressive on one base. You're going to see a little bit of early pressure here, but I think the Little One is going to be prepared for this. He did scout into the main and he saw that, hey, you don't have an expansion yet, so I'm just going to fortify with a couple of queens. Now, probably likely that the Little One's going to be able to hold off the Mothership Core with these two queens, although the core is now on the way actually into the main base instead of the natural. And interestingly, the Little One here is making a ton of Zerglings. He's got Zergling speed about to finish. I think what the Little One's planning to do here is try to bust through the front door, try to exploit the fact that Elfi went for such a delayed expansion, such a delayed wall. But look at this, Elfi so smartly walls it off with the Stalker, and he's got a couple of sentries back here as well, so pretty unlikely that these Speedlings will be able to get anything accomplished. Speed now just kicking in, and I think the Little One here, Yeah, he did invest into a bunch of speedlings. Unfortunately, it's not going to pay off for him, but he can still use these speedlings as a form of map control. And I think right now his best option, as he's seen the Protoss now walling off, is to start expanding rapidly. And you can see immediately the little one says, all right, you've walled off, so it's unlikely you're going to attack me. Now I'm going to start to terraform my expansions, breaking down all the rocks, of course, and try to set up my, my new hatcheries. And I think this is the best possible play for the little one. The other, you know, option is he could try to invest a considerable amount of forces to try to end the game right now, but you know, with Elfi's wall and the sentries he's got behind that, it's unlikely to be successful, and Elfi knows that. So now he is going to add on a robotics facility, and we can see now probably planning to go into 5-gate robo, I would imagine, maybe 3-gate robo. But a lot of times now you see Protoss players also playing around with Stargate technology. Even though they go for the robotics, you see some Protoss players go for early Stargate as well, just to get that early Oracle or Void Ray out. So we'll see which way Elfi wants to go here. But I do believe he's going to try to go with the more tried and true Protoss Wings of Liberty style, which is, you know, 3-gate robo, expand, add on 2 more gateways, and then probably just stick with more conventional Stalker, Sentry, Immortal-based army, and then add on Colossus as is needed. But the thing here is, if he encounters Roach Hydra, which is a composition that the little one just loves to use, then Elfi's going to have to obviously add on Templar, add on you know, whatever he needs to add on in order to stop that type of army. And it's really cool to see Heart of the Storm now. Just the matchups have evolved so much. And look at this, Elfi is indeed going for a Stargate, so I guess my initial hunch was correct. He's just gone for a 4-gate robo Stargate here, but he cancels the Stargate once the Overseer gets in there. And Elfi here gonna try to be tricky now, and he adds on a robotic support bay. So he's gonna go for Colossus instead of the Stargate play. And obviously here trying to trick the little one. Now the little one, obviously, upon seeing a Stargate, is going to say, oh, perfect, I'm going to go Roaches and Hydras. And of course now that even adds on more motivation to go for the Hydra Ascent. So he does have a Hydra Ascent coming now. Unfortunately for him, what Elfi's done here is tricked the little one into thinking Hydras are going to be supremely effective against whatever Stargate units, you know, might have come out. But instead, it is going to be, obviously, Colossus and then the Twilight Council, most likely to go into Templar, into Templar Archives and get High Templar for Storm. Now, that's not to say that Hydras won't be effective, because with Muscular Augments now, which is the upgrade the little one is getting first, they are surprisingly effective, even against Colossus and Storm. As long as you can micro them effectively, they are very, very good, a la the way they played in the original Brood War against Protoss. They were the core staple unit against Protoss back in the days. But the thing is, the little one will need to augment his Hydras with the proper units. He'll need Vipers, he'll need Roaches, he'll need a multitude of units here. We can see the full tech tree being fleshed out right now from both sides. As a Phoenix actually comes in here and tries to get a full scout off, it will indeed get full intel and send that back home to the Protoss homeworld. In the middle of the map, one observer chilling in the middle, not doing much for now, but it might be called into service momentarily. One thing you will probably see in this game as the battle you know, kind of opens up, is you'll probably see some Time Warp fields coming down from the Mothership core, and you know, Guardian Shield, Storm, just a full plethora of abilities will be unloaded. Very fun now to watch Protoss versus Zerg, so I'm just looking forward to seeing that. One Overseer kind of flying in here, trying to figure out what exactly is going on inside the base, and he sees that the Stargate was indeed canceled. And so this is a critical Overseer scout, which will it make it out alive? No, it won't. But it was a critical scout because, oh wow, Elfi is so tricky. So there's kind of two stages to this. On one stage, the little one now is going to say, oh, I don't need to make Hydras anymore, because he's going for, you know, Templar and a Colossus. And so the thing here is Elfi says, no, actually, I'm going to go back into Stargate now. But the thing is, the little one loves Roaches and Hydras so much, he loves this composition against all races, that he's just going to say, I don't care if you're going Colossus, I don't care if you're going to go for Storm. In fact, Elfi hasn't gone for Storm yet, he's sticking with Blinkstalkers, but I don't care, says the little one. He's just going to stick with Roach, Hydra, Viper, and utilize his you know, world-class micro in order to get out of sticky situations. So we'll see how this plays out. He does have an Ultralisk Cavern as well, and that was scouted out by Elfi. Elfi sees the Ultra Cavern. So now the question is, will the little one add on Ultralisk into his army? I believe so. Yeah, there's 3 Ultras on the way. He's obviously getting chitinous plating as well. Taking a look at the upgrades here, not very high for either race, but you can see that both Elfi and the little one place a premium on getting as many bases as possible and getting up to tier 3, not necessarily getting their upgrades, but you can see now the focus is going to shift to upgrading their forces heavily now. One thing I'm a little bit concerned about for Elfi is his supply is dangerously low. Only 124, and his bank is getting a little bit high as well, so I'm not too comfortable about that. He is heavily supply blocked. Wow. Actually not supply blocked yet, he just opened it up with a bunch of pylons, but he needs to clear out this bank, the surplus, and get some forces on the ground, because momentarily he's going to be facing the rush of the Zerg, and he's actually trying to get a mothership right now. Instead of just sticking with the mothership core, we don't see the mothership getting too much action nowadays, because the only thing you gain is the cloaking field. You no longer get the vortex in Heart of the Storm, but this should be interesting as the little one is preparing to make an attack. Now he's got a couple of obstacles to blow through. First, he's going to actually go for the photon cannons and ignore the rocks. Now Elfi does have, oh, great time warp field right there. He cancels the mothership core to drop a dual time warp in order to shut down the advancement of the Zerg forces. I don't know about the second time warp right here. I don't know if that was necessary, but great time warps nevertheless. And now the Colossus getting yanked in. Oh my god! And the AI of the Colossus getting confused here as they were in front of the gateways and could not walk backwards, so they ended up walking further deeper into the Zerg forces. And this is just a beautiful play right now from the little one. He's now moving into the natural with his Ultra Hydra Viper army, abducting the core units like the Colossus and allowing the Ultras to get into melee range. There are some Tempests in the back, but they don't do that much damage to ground, not nearly as much as they do to massive air units. And we'll see if the little one, no, it looks like he is going to be stopped here, but he has done a significant amount of damage. Not in terms of workers, but he has just killed off so many Colossus, so many core units, and really, yeah, he lost a lot himself, but just look at the supply tabs. He's still ahead, 191 to 138. And the thing about that is, as a Zerg player, you know, you want to engage the Protoss army when they're not maxed out. Once the Protoss army is maxed out, it's a whole different ball game. And the little one's strategy here is to continuously apply pressure and not allow Elfi to realize the max potential of a Protoss army. And, you know, so far it's working out pretty well for him. A lot of Ultras, Hydras, Zerglings, and the Zerglings also with crack upgrade as well. So here we go, stage 2 launch. And I don't know if Elfi's got enough to defend here. He does have a mothership that is just about to finish. Just finished out of the new mothership core. Will it actually be able to cloak these units in time? Well, it looks like the mothership not close enough. He needs to bring this mothership closer, but he's a little bit afraid, and rightfully so, of the Hydralisk underneath. Now gotta pull the Hydras away. Will the Colossus be able to keep it alive? No, it will not. And the Colossus now exposed because the mothership has gone down. Critical forges are falling. Upgrades have been lost. And now the little one is going to plan his escape route. Beautiful attack once again, keeping Elfi down in supply and keeping him outnumbered and outmatched. And then all at the same time, the little one is expanding rapidly as well. He's actually stealing expansions from the Protoss player at the 12 o'clock position. So beautiful plays, and he's even spread his creep highway over to the front door of Elfi. So just impeccable control from the little one. This is really Zerg Maestro-esque, and a beautiful game so far from him against Elfi. Will Elfi be able to recover? What kind of units does he have on the field right now? Only, it's very marginal. 3 Tempests, most of his army comprised of Stalkers, and really the only reason why he hasn't been completely, you know, dominated so far is because he has the element of defense. He's got his own, you know, terrain to work with, his own base. He's got everything nice and choked off, but eventually I feel like the little one is going to overwhelm him. And now the queens are being brought into service, so the ultras are going to have a couple of transfuses to help keep them alive as well. In fact, transfusing evolution chambers to of course produce more energy for the Vipers. And as soon as these Vipers are full and healthy and ready, they're probably going to move in. And I think Elfi is moments away from the end of this game. I don't see how in the world he can hold off this type of an assault. And the problem, of course, is he doesn't even have another base. He's still on 3 bases, and here we go. This should be it. I don't see any way how Elfi can survive this assault. Colossus is just getting pulled completely out of position. Nothing Elfi can do about it. And now the Tempests are getting pulled as well. Actually, maybe Elfi will be able to hold on here. He does have a lot of Tempests in the back. But the problem is, yeah, he might be able to hold on to this attack, but then what next? Because you can see the little one is adding on a Spire. So in a couple of seconds here, we're going to have a bunch of Corruptors coming out. And, well, Elfi, yeah, he is going to be able to hold on. But once that Spire finishes, I think the little one should be able to make another attack pretty well. But then again, I'm looking at the little one's bank. He's actually supplied his army with 8 Ultralisks, so he actually doesn't have much of a bank for anti-air. So perhaps Elfi will be able to continue to make a stand here. But then again, the Cracklings are coming in, and oh no, this is terrible for Elfi. You know, a long shot, you know, but I don't think it's going to end up paying off for him. And now if the Fleet Beacon goes down, obviously the Tempest cannot be produced. And there we go, Tempests are now out of the tech tree. And without the ability to produce Tempest, really, that was the one lifeline for Elfi to stay in this game. And I think the little one here is about to drill that final nail in the coffin. Ultralisk now bombarding their way through into both expansions. Tempest Fleet is still alive. And the little one, I don't think he really cares. It's like, well, yeah, I might lose Ultralisk, I might lose a lot of my army, but as long as I kill your Nexi, it's all good. I know that you only have 3 bases, and I got, what, 7 bases? A 7-base Zerg to a 3-base Protoss. No, it's a 6-base Zerg to a 3-base Protoss. But regardless, it is just an impossible task here for Mr. Elfi. Archons are now being called into service, but I think this might be the last battle. This is Elfi's Wolf 359. And Star Trek reference if you guys didn't get that. But that is it. GG calls Elfi, and the complete eradication of the Protoss fleet ensues. So the little one takes control of this game and takes a victory. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this cast. It was a pretty quick one, 23 minutes long. The little one takes a victory. Of course, I am accepting any replays. If you guys have any links to any great Heart of the Storm replays or any replays themselves, feel free to send them in to me at HDreplays@gmail.com. And of course, subscribe at HD StarCraft. I'll see you guys in the next cast. This is HD signing out.